Live from the kitchen again.
That's gonna always make me laugh.
We should just actually get copyrights to play that joint.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I was just about to say we could get Yo Gotti come in and do schooling with Sheedy for a second.
Man.
Thanks.
Sevens don't like that. I said, hey, nah, Sheedy is much better.
All right. Get the jump started. Let's be real about ridiculousness.
Yeah. Hey, Shark, if it makes you feel any better, I think you're a better host than Rob Dietrich.
Appreciate
it. Take that however you want to take that.
At least we come with stuff that's current, unlike ridiculousness.
I don't like watching Ridiculousness because I feel like I watch more commercials than anything.
Man, it don't go commercial after every
video. For me, I'm just glad that none of y'all are a white girl with a bad laugh.
Yes. Well, I thought she was a rapper. She was a part of Young Money.
She was a part of Young Money.
She was a rapper.
She was part of Young Money. In what era was she part of Young Money?
In the hottest era.
Yeah,
she part of the era. You remember?
No.
She on that album. She on that album. Remember Young Money released the album?
Here's what it was.
No, she was on the album because she helped make the cover. That was the only reason she was on it.
No,
she helped design, make the cover. She did.
Here's what it was. She was a tax write-off of Birdman. Moving on.
Diversity.
That's it.
All right, man. Before we get started, man, prayers out to Sheedy, man. Recovering from COVID, man. Just keep him missing again, but just keep him in your prayers. Him and his family.
Soon, man.
But let's get started with these Memphis Tigers.
All right, gentlemen. So we had 2 games this week. Shout out to Skylar's hoodie. We know that he hasn't been watching because he bad luck. And we've won.
It's not my fault.
We've won 2 games this week. We won 96-69 against UCF on Monday. Played them again on Wednesday, 75-61. As it stands right now, the Tigers are in 3rd place in the American Conference, right behind Wichita State, who they play pretty soon, I think. And Houston, who's at the top of the conference, just lost to ECU, surprisingly. Maybe not surprising to some people. 2 games against Houston coming up. So the Tigers are in striking distance to get to the top of the American Athletic Conference. Just kind of want to know y'all's thoughts about what you saw this week, and can Memphis realistically get into the tournament right now? I have the order in the chat.
I know. I'm getting ready to start. It's all good.
Go ahead. Yeah, get us out together.
Yeah, I only caught a glimpse of these 2 games, man, and for the most part, of course, the first game against UCF was probably the better one as far as from a performance standpoint. Memphis shot relatively well. Of course, they had high number of assists to match their made baskets, so it kind of shows that they were trying to move the ball at least. Second game, not so much, but they were still able to hold on and obtain a double-digit lead. Liking what I'm seeing from Landers Nolley, of course, as always. I think one of the things that's maybe changed as well is Musa Cisse. And I think this now has been for just these past 2 games, but even like going back to leading up to even before the SMU game, like he's kind of figured out his role and settled into his role. And I think just what he does on the defensive end is not necessarily blocking shots, but affecting shots. Kind of helps out in that dynamic for the Tigers. And we all know the Tigers are going to play defense. It's just a matter of can they put the ball in the hole. As Savage just mentioned, we do have a game tomorrow against East Carolina, who's coming off a huge upset of beating Houston, who were at one point just ranked 5th in the nation. So this could very well be a trap game for the Tigers, as they could be, feeling pretty good. Just coming off these 2 wins in a row against UCF. So they could come out a little flat a little bit, especially against East Carolina, who's, again, just super hyped after beating Houston. I expect this game to be much more close than the first one. But ultimately, I do think the Tigers pull it out. Now, as far as can they eventually make the tournament, I have to see this game against Wichita State, and I got to see one of these Houston matchups before I can really give a definite answer on
that. Piggyback off what Trevor's point. This echoes on. Let me see. You hear me, Bella? Okay. Piggyback off Trevor's point. Yeah, we blew out East Carolina by like 30 the first time. So them being in Houston, yeah, we gotta. They can easily. I can see them possibly taking them lightly because they blew them out the first time at East Carolina. But Memphis ain't good enough to do that, so they shouldn't. But dealing with them, or for them to make the tournament, they got to. The rest of their schedule, they don't really play nobody good outside of Houston twice. Cincinnati suck. They beat Wichita State by 20 the first time, so they really need to beat them again. So I think they're only 1 game behind Houston, if I ain't mistaken, as well.
I think it's yep.
After their loss, yeah.
Memphis was 7-3, I believe, and Houston is
2 games. 2 games.
2 games. Okay.
It's 2 games. Okay.
Yeah, but they're right there. They got 2 games against Houston, so they can catch up if they just beat them twice. So yeah.
They're in the tournament, but they beat Houston twice. So it really comes down to they got to lose to nobody else bad, which is the rest of their schedule outside of Houston is that, and they got to beat Houston at least 1 time to even get back on the bubble, to even be in a consideration. And beating twice, then you in the tournament. And of course, you got the conference tournament, but they are shooting better. Like someone said, I think on radio or something, they kind of getting the same shots. They just finally hitting something. They couldn't shoot. Man, that was just the point. Finally, they starting to hit some shots. Boogie Ellis started the last 2 games. That has made a difference. He had started all season, and I was a proponent of not starting Alo again because he plays better off the bench. So I'm glad they didn't do that. And Boogie hasn't been good since the St. Mary's game. So these last 2 games probably his best game since then.
First game.
Right. Exactly. So I think that was good to see. So maybe that brings him back in, gets him back going. But I mean, to Scott, like how Scott have been feeling about him. I mean, I don't lose nobody else and beat Houston 1 time of the 2. That's I'm just waiting to see approach from this point forward.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you. I don't know why Lito was looking like that. I can't wait to see what he got to say, but I'll be real brief. Yeah, I think we win the Tigers game, we in the tournament. We lose, and we're out the tournament. I think it's as simple as that at this point. We know what the Tigers are. Trev, you get it right on the head with Musa C. Say he looks a lot more comfortable, even though he had 3 rebounds in the last game. I think, like I say, he is looking more comfortable, and that can be fixed going forward. But like I said, we beat Houston, we're in. We lose, we're out, and it's as simple as that.
For me, I honestly didn't watch the past 2 games. Y'all already know what I'm on. But just from kind of looking at box score and just kind of listening to y'all's perspective, and just things that I've kind of seen on Twitter, I hear Boogie is running point a little bit better. I think from what I've heard, and just kind of looking at minutes and some of the scores as well too. I think he's kind of coming in, into the point guard role, which I think since the season has started, I think we've kind of all talked about the lack of a dynamic point guard or a point guard that can set up shots and set up the offense for everybody else. So it sounds like they're getting that together. It sounds like Musa Cisse is starting to kind of fit into his shoes a little bit by like defending the rim, getting blocked shots, or to Trevor's point, altering shots, getting rebounds and stuff like that. I think that's good. The percentage from what I saw, according to ESPN, looks better. But again, it was against UCF. I'm really not sneezing at anything. To answer your question, Savage, will they get in? I think they get in if they at least get one of those wins against Houston. I think if you get one of those wins against Houston, because I think right now they're hovering around 50, 55, I think, for Ken Palm, I think. So if they can get one of those, I think that moves them inside the top 50 and not lose to anybody else that's on the rest of the schedule. That's possible. Well, I won't say that's possible. If they win out and if they win out and at least split with Houston, I think they get in. And it's not even like if they're on the bubble. I think they legit get in. But I think they have to grab one of those ones against Houston. You have to grab one of those and not lose out. Well, not lose out, but you have to grab the rest of those wins. So there's that.
I think that Houston will, not Houston, I think Memphis will get one of those Houston games. I'll be very surprised they get both. But I think either way, Memphis will find a way to get into the tournament just because it's Penny Hardaway and they're always on ESPN, whether they're bad or good from the looks of it. But from this week, what I am most impressed with, defense is going to always be there. I always say we play defense in Memphis. This is what it's going to be. I'm impressed with what I've seen from the body language of the team. I feel like we identified that your two top dogs on the team, one, Landers Nolley, who's been playing really good this week, and then two, he had a bad first game, but he kind of eased it back in the second game, and that's Jeffries. Chris Vernon said it earlier, and I was like, okay, it ain't just me. He was kind of fat earlier in the season. Like, he was kind of chubby at the beginning of the season, but now he's kind of slimmed down and kind of eased into his role as that bench player. So whenever Nolley's not in the game, Jeffries is the guy. But I can see, like, the team is performing well as a unit. You got a lot of glue guys now, what I'm seeing, especially out of Quinones. I think he had like 14, 6, and 6 that first game this week. Like, that's what I need from Les. I need defense. I need shooting. I need just all around good play. I don't know what your dad laughing at, Skylar, but yeah, I'm seeing like improvement, but I got to see more of it. I got to see it against real competition. UCF ain't been good since Taco Fall left. So I need to see a real game against Houston. That's going to be the measuring stick, but you do not want to look past ECU this upcoming Saturday, who beat Houston, and they remember that 30-point butt whooping from a couple of weeks ago with Memphis. So will it make tournament? Yeah, I think so. It might not be pretty when they get in, but I think they'll get in. But I mean, we can talk about it. They got to be about it, in the future. So, any other comments before we move on to football?
I'll say this because you mentioned two players who I feel like going into the season I was really high on, and if nobody else improved or if nobody else took that next level, the next step up, I feel like I feel like Landers Nolley and DJ Jeffries should have at least been two of your more consistent guys. If they're averaging about 15 to 20, I think that takes the pressure off a lot of other players on the team. But with them being inconsistent at times, there are times where Landers looks really, really good, and then there are times where Landers looks really, really selfish. Then there are times where, like, DJ Jeffries, you're like, what are you doing? There are times like, okay, you keep going to this same one move, everybody else is defending it. I need you to come up with a second option or how to get to the basket. So those two for me have been really inconsistent. If they can, and I think they've played well over the past couple of days, but if they can continue to give you 15, 20 a game, then you can get a better contribution from everybody else.
Yeah. And then one thing before I close out, I mentioned this over the summer, and I'm glad to see that it is slowly coming to fruition. But we're going to have Musa for another year, y'all. I just want to let y'all know that because he is not ready on offense. He is not ready on offense. Defensively and just like his awareness, he got it. But Penny, like, hey, man, you coming back next year, just letting you know that. Which is good for Memphis, to have consistency with the big man. But, yeah, he's not ready. I don't need him going pro. I hope he don't go pro. I hope he don't. Because technically he's a high school senior right now. So he's still going to be developing, physically. And I think another year would do him well, in my opinion. I hope nobody get in here and tell him that he can go. So
he's not even on draft board right now.
That's what I'm saying. He's not even on draft boards. Like, nah, don't even go, bro. Like, don't even play with no G League. Nah, don't do that.
Also, what's the freshman? The guy that just got on the team. Nesbitt. He played the UCF game.
I don't even remember him playing. It was like 2 minutes.
He came in like last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
So he finally got on the floor. So
yeah,
I didn't really watch the game. I didn't watch the game, so I don't know how he performed. I know he didn't score. He had like a rebound or something, but just bring it up. He did. I guess he's practicing, so they did put him out there for a second.
Yeah. That's good for him.
And I did hear that I think some of the players, I wouldn't say they weren't fond of the move, but it still looked at like you brought in like a high school senior to play minutes, regardless of how many minutes he's playing. I've read and heard that, so I think maybe that like lit a fire on them. Whatever they need, lit a fire lit on them, I'm perfectly okay with it.
Same here.
You stop watching them.
Exactly.
It's like JV getting called to play varsity, man. It's like, oh, hold on now, I ain't finna have somebody take my spot. For real. But moving on to Tiger football, and also we got 2 Tennessee fans here as well. You had Rock Taylor, 5-star, 6'4", 225 wide receiver, that got his scholarship pulled from Tennessee on Saturday.
Yep.
On Saturday. And he ended up committing to Memphis Tigers, which I mean is great for Memphis to get, I mean, I saw his highlights. This man was behind people. I know it's high school, but he was behind people the entire highlight reel. But I'll give my thoughts first because I feel like I can't recall getting a 5-star receiver in Memphis unless I'm just not remembering anybody. I know we had walk-ons with like Ant Miller and other players, but to get a 5-star pure player, I mean, I feel like the last wide receiver that had hype coming to Memphis was like Keywan Malone or something like that. But yeah, from what I saw, he looks legit. That's why I tagged you, Shark. I'm like, talk to me about this man because he behind people, all his highlights. Yeah. But I feel like with Ryan Silverfield as a good offensive mind, he's gonna be able to put him to good use. Maybe not immediately, but maybe like his sophomore into junior year, once he gets into the offense and understands, what he's gonna be doing as either an X or a Z receiver. I like what I saw. And 6'4", that's NFL. That's NFL size in my opinion. But what do you guys think, especially Tennessee fans? Like, how do y'all feel about him getting his letter or his scholarship pulled and then going to Memphis?
Oh, that's why you got us going first.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I have nothing to say much in regards to the Vols right now because apparently the only 2 things going on that's going great in Knoxville is the basketball team and Bianca Belair. Shout out to those that watch wrestling. So for them to like really just pull this offer on Saturday from Rock Taylor, and like you, Savage and Shark, I saw his highlights. Like, dude was like in front of people. Like, there's DBs running behind him on almost every highlight. Like, that is the type of guy that you need if you're going to try to get Tennessee back on track. And for you guys to willingly take the scholarship off the table on signing day just lets me know where you guys are heading. And it's not looking like it's in a great direction. It looks like the hole that you've dug for yourselves is probably going to get a little deeper. But anyway, on the bright side, shout out to the Memphis Tigers for this huge overhaul. Weapon U continues to be Weapon U. So shout out to Savage.
Well, a couple things on Tennessee. Tennessee fans are going to act like he's a 3-star, according to some sites, is what I've seen. It was in my comments specifically. Dudes talking about, no, he was a 3-star. I know he saw 5-star yet. Stop it. Please stop it. Whether he was 3-star somewhere else, 5-star, man, stop it, bro. You saw that highlight tape, bro.
Man.
With me, I think that was the problem why a lot of people didn't like Josh Heupel, the hire, because he's not a good recruiter. And him putting that scholarship raises his eyebrow. Like, I know you didn't recruit him, but come on now. He's 6'4". You can do a lot with a 6'4" receiver, bro. I don't care.
18 years old, 6'4", 225.
Come on now.
Yes.
Come on now. You don't pull that scholarship. Then you pull it. Like I said, I understand new coach Steph when you recruit him. Okay. You're going to wait till signing day? Now, let me go give Jason and John props. Great interview. They interviewed his high school, Rock Taylor's high school coach. And he spoke everything about Tennessee.
Loose.
Yeah, everything, bro. Like, he said he ain't allowing Tennessee to come back to his school to even look at kids no more.
Wow.
Ooh, like, you pulled his scholarship on signing day. You pulled it on signing day, like,
yeah.
And they like,
and he was pretty much finna sign with Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
he was going to UT.
He wanted to stay. Throughout all that happened, he said he wanted to stay. He wanted to go to Tennessee, and
he was going to UT, and they just pulled the scholarship off.
And the coach And the coach reached out to him when they got the new coach Steph Audit and nothing. It was like everything fine. Then Saturday they pulled it. Like that's pitiful, bro.
Yeah.
Then it's their loss is Memphis game. Like the coach said, like God put you in the right places. I'm fine with it. Let's go. We got we've been good with receivers, but we've been having a bunch of midgets, man. It's not
yeah, that's true.
Like, let's get some.
How tall was the one?
Height.
How tall was the one? Oh, you talking about Memphis?
About Memphis.
Oh, Memphis.
A lot of short
okay.
guys.
Yeah, that's
short. Like 5'9", 5'10", need some height, some Alshon Jeffries.
Right. But yeah, that's how I feel. Also, the high school coach said the reason he's like don't want Tennessee to come back to his schools because back a couple years ago, I think Jeremy Pruitt's staff did something similar to another of his players a couple years ago as well. So, like, that's not good business.
Mm-hmm. I think the only person that really loses in this situation is Savage because, like, Weapon U should have been trademarked, bro. Like, this is just another thing that Memphis is definitely Weapon U. Like, I'm excited to see how we turn up a 5-star receiver. Like, I looked it up and I couldn't find, the last time Memphis had a 5-star receiver. So, that's definitely something we can look up. But shout out to him, man. Shout out to Memphis. Shout out to Tennessee for taking this scholarship away. Do y'all know why? Like, Tennessee literally just did it just for the hell of it.
New coach, new staff,
all that stuff.
Wow. I mean, like you said, Shark, Tennessee lost our game, man. Go Tigers. Right. And we got a 5-star receiver. I can't wait to see turn up. So, yeah.
You're on mute, Scal.
You're on mute. You talking to yourself, dog.
Sorry. To touch on Tennessee really quickly, because I could care less if he, whatever reason, he left Tennessee. He came to the right school anyway. But I think, for me, I think part of the problem, is because Tennessee waited so late in the process to hire a coach. I think if you would have made this decision, or if you wouldn't have waited so long, I guess, to fire Pruitt, I can't remember exactly when they fired him. But if you move earlier, if you move quicker in this process to get a coach in place, regardless of whoever the coach is, if he can recruit or not, I think you having the coach in place weeks and days before, not weeks and days before, if you had the coach, let's say a month ago, then I think he prioritizes to make sure he gets that kid because that's a grown-ass man. A 5-star receiver, I could care less where you're coming from, but that's a solid recruit. And I think because all this stuff happened so late, I think that's part of the reason why they lost him. But I just think for Memphis' sake, I think this is good. I think this is like a stepping stone in the right direction. I think for the past 2 years, Ryan Silverfield and his staff have had the best recruiting class in Memphis history, back-to-back years. I think this year, it was like around 50, 55-ish again.
46.
46 now. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I think that's good to be the number 46 ranked football program in the country when it comes to recruiting, and you're in the Power 5, not Power 5, sorry, Group of 5. You're in the Group of 5. I think that's legit. And I think we've talked about this even going before this past season started, but Ryan Silverfield has been able to flip players not just from any school, but SEC schools. Like,
Speaking of which, we have a guy that came in from Arkansas, Memphis native, but his name is Shamar Nash. Yeah, Shamar Nash is an Arkansas receiver coming in now. So,
Yep. So I think what you can see what his staff is doing. Another thing that I think they're using when they're going on these pitches, they have a lot of NFL. They have a lot of NFL. What's the word I'm looking for? Experience on their staff. Okay, and so I think you can speak to that, and I think you can also speak to Savage your point about Weapon U. We're putting players like in the draft, and not only are we putting them in the draft, and getting them drafted, they're legit playing. They're legit like getting starter minutes. So I think that's good. I think it's really good for the program. I think the only thing I have left to say after this is I hope they found a damn corner. I hope they found a damn corner. That's it. All I care about.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I mean, they looking at all their recruits from 2021, they did get one from White Station. So let's just hope that he.
Okay.
You just need an average corner. He ain't got to be top 10. I just need an average corner.
He's listed as 6 foot 180. So let's hope that.
Okay.
I mean,
really, no. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it all out there. So.
Hey, TJ Carter transferred too. Yeah. Hopefully got some corners.
Look like we'll be putting up 35 and giving up 31 again.
Hey, fun to watch at least on offense.
I will say that offense is better than a basketball team.
I mean, we ain't going to national championship anyway. So
right.
I did anyway, so I will just
Next weekend is a New Year's Six game, so hey,
hey, I'll take the New Year's Six because that Cotton Bowl 2 years ago was legit. Sorry.
Yeah, without COVID.
Right.
You have to go.
We almost there. Almost there
though. We're ready to start going to games again.
I hope so.
Man.
Move on, bro. Start your play.
Let's go.
All right, too.
All right, y'all. So we have a All-Star game, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! All right. Speaking of which, it will be March 7th. The NBA Players Association agreed to have this on March 7th in Hotlanta. We're gonna call it Hotlanta, not because of the weather, but because that's the hot spot before, during, and after COVID. LeBron said it was a slap in the face. Darren Fox called it straight up just one word, stupid. I put the order in the chat, of course, but how do y'all feel that NBA is doing as far as this All-Star game situation? Do y'all think that there should be an NBA All-Star game this year?
Hey, if we having any All-Star game, y'all better put in Lou Williams in this joint because we can have him go to the strip club and get them wings.
James Harden gonna be there.
James Harden gonna be there.
Lemon Pepper Lou.
But yeah, I don't know, y'all. I'm confused in general about this whole entire thing because one part of me is like, how are we playing basketball but we can't exchange jerseys? And then I'm thinking like we may as well have an All-Star game anyway if we playing basketball. The only problem is you got players coming from different, corners of the country coming into of all places, Atlanta, which don't give a F about COVID. So I honestly don't know how to feel. I mean, will I watch it? No, because I don't watch the All-Star game anyway. Watched it last year because it was COVID, but before that, I watched maybe the 3-point shootout and the dunk contest.
I was just about to ask, would you watch that?
I watched it. I watched it.
If it's a one-day event, though, let's say it's just a one-day event. They do everything at that one particular time. Would you watch it?
Probably not the whole thing, nah. Honestly, I just don't. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'll let y'all have at it. I don't know. I have no idea with COVID.
For me, this doesn't make sense. You would think if they're going to have some version of a break, I think they should have at least teams that have missed multiple games, because there's at least 4 or 5 teams that have missed at least 5 or 6 games. Then allow those teams to make up those games, because I think those missed games, in my opinion, are going to come down and potentially bite those teams in the butt, honestly. Because I think you kind of saw the same thing with San Antonio last year. San Antonio, in a sense, missed out on the playoffs because they legit didn't have enough games played versus the other teams that finished in front of them. So I would have preferred they use that time to either one, take off completely, or if you're going to have teams play or have people play, then have those teams, whether it's the Grizzlies and the Wizards, or if it's the Grizzlies and I don't know, the Nets or whoever, like teams that have missed multiple games, allow them to make up those games just so they have those wins and losses on their record, because you don't know if they'll have any other time to make up those games, and it could potentially cost them at the end. As far as the All-Star game, I really don't care. It doesn't make sense that it's freaking in Atlanta, but it's the NBA. Apparently, they always know what they're doing. So,
yeah. As my guy Bryce said from GBB, shout out to him. Contracts got to be fulfilled. Money got to be made. That's the only thing that I can really say about the All-Star game at this point, because I agree 100% this jump should not be played. I'm with Skylar here. Like, use that time to allow teams that have missed multiple games due to COVID to make up those games, possibly. Also, you have to think about this as well. On top of the All-Stars that would go, I'm pretty sure, to Atlanta, you got to look at the rest of the players for the rest of the teams. Like, you're just going to allow them to travel freely to basically take a vacation basically during All-Star week or however you're going to do the All-Star weekend, and then have them come back to their respective teams, and then the All-Stars coming back from Atlanta. That's potential for another disaster, which is going to lead to more games being postponed. and who knows where the season's going to go from there. That's all I really got on the All-Star game. I just chalked it up to, okay, y'all got commitments that y'all got to meet, so that's the only reason you're doing it. So that's all I got.
Yes. That's all I got to say. Yes. Nah, I never care about the All-Star game. Like I said, I watched last year because with Kobe the 24, they did the Elam ended thing with Kobe. It's number 24. But I mean, I don't understand why they're doing it. Like Skylar made a great point. He hit it right in the head. They should be making up games at that time. But we not there to make the big bucks. They make the big bucks. So like Trevor said, what Bryson said, contracts need to be fulfilled. Because they got to fulfill them. Hopefully it's a better product in the NFL, wherever they replace the Pro Bowl with. I mean, that was I don't know what happened to Pro Bowl. What happened to Pro Bowl? Like
they did some type of they involved Madden in some shape or form, right?
Well, I do 2K or something.
Virtually.
Yeah, I don't know.
They got a virtual game.
But I was saying the NFL did some type of program where they had the Pro Bowl players talk. I didn't really watch it, so I can't really explain it. It was on ESPN for like 3 hours. I had like changed to it. It was like the Pro Bowl players talking about each other. They showed the versus battle stuff.
I watched that, but I ain't watching no
versus.
Launching nothing.
And the versus was slick good. Though. I ain't gonna lie. Like the one with Jalen Ramsey and Nuke. That joint was nice.
I'm with Trevor. Who said anything about a versus? I never knew anything about it.
Like who?
Y'all can go find Jalen Ramsey versus DeAndre Hopkins. That joint was hilarious.
Okay,
I didn't understand it. So I didn't understand why they had Michael Vick versus Deshaun Watson.
I ain't watched that one.
I thought it was like Pro Bowl players. Why they have a retired player?
So what's it going in this versus?
They were showing like
what is the
plays?
They were showing plays and the players are talking stuff to each other.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like rap.
That's why Ramsey was so good.
I was thinking the same thing because I'm like,
that's why Hopkins and Ramsey was so good because they actually played each other interdivision twice, like with AFC West and the AFC South. That one was a good one. But like Vic and Watson, I was like, I don't care about this. Like, what is this?
Y'all gonna let Mike Vick try to come back, bro?
To do what?
I'm not, and I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not.
If I can get my 2 cents before we move on, like I guess that's at the beginning y'all can follow the titles of our names. Like that's, I feel like the NBA is like dropping the ball. Like we gave them so much credit, with the bubble and how that situation turned out. Here it is right here. How that situation turned out, that we were able to crown the NBA champion and now making an All-Star game, which I feel like will make matters worse in the future. Like what if an All-Star, what if a person voted test positive? So they're not gonna be able to play. You're gonna have to find a replacement. What's that situation gonna be? Or what about like when the players get there? Are you just gonna make them go to the game, go to the gym, and just go back to the hotel? When they really want to be able to enjoy the celebration, it's just a matter of, hey, you're an all-star, go play, make us some money. Like that's why I feel, the NBA's take on it. Like I said, LeBron feel like
Kyrie ain't playing.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot you really gotta address and get together like in 3 weeks. That is a lot.
Right. I mean, Atlanta, like ain't nobody they ain't got COVID protocol, so I mean, it is what it is. Hey, shout out to Kyrie Irving. I don't know if he talked about that, but he's smart. He knew he was about to get traded, and that's why he didn't play. He's smart, bro. Stay woke.
Hooping now.
They hooping now. They finna break all kind of records.
If all that was really because he was gonna be traded, then
they won't.
I give it up. I don't think it wasn't though. I really think he legit has.
Could have took the time off to learn how to play defense, but we ain't gonna talk about that part though.
Who plays defense in the league anymore?
The Lakers?
Exactly.
The
Grizzlies?
Right.
The Grizzlies play what? Did you watch the last thing? Never mind.
Anyway, I watched John Wall go 4 of 8 from 3. So come on.
Boy. Hey,
I'm glad.
Hey, shout out John Wall, bro. He
Hey, no, real talk. John Wall has been hooping though. I give him his flowers. For real.
Speaking of 3-pointers, we got to give 2 shout outs. One shout out to the Hall of Fame of Van Vliet, and the other one to Junior. Shout out to my boy for putting up 40 last night. Let's go.
A shout out to Gorgie Jang and Desmond Bain for being 1 and 2 at some point. I don't know if they still are now, but they were earlier this week.
Look, let's get to his flowers. He's finally feeling good about this little Kelly Oubre little situation.
Kelly Oubre finna turn up.
No, we're not gonna let no. He can have it, but we still not gonna let him live down that he called this man.
Took him 22 games to finally get over 20 points.
Hey, he knew he was going to New Orleans. That's what's going on.
Oh, okay.
He knew he was going to the trade block to New Orleans.
Yeah, they got a big man. Golly, boys, they got no big. They look like the Rockets from last season.
Oh man!
Right. No
They could have put Sheedy. They could have put Sheedy at center on tomorrow. They need big man. They're there.
Well, I know we got started 5 tomorrow, but before we move forward to the next one, shout out to Ja for being 4th in voting, but I don't see that fire in his eyes right now. I hope he's watching this and hear me.
Okay.
I don't see that fire in his eyes.
Really?
I'm gonna do it right now.
Whatever it takes. I want him to see this.
We try to right now.
You know, last time somebody said that to him, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm tweeting right now.
Isaac,
we try to smoke on this Pelican pack tomorrow. I don't know what you talking about.
Shout out to Isaac Simpson, bro. I got Isaac on. He said on Twitter somebody was tagging him.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
All right, man.
All righty, gentlemen. We are going to move forward. So last week, you guys were given 5 quarterbacks as we start the whole quarterback carousel thing. Last week we talked about Big Ben. We talked about Carson Wentz. We talked about Matthew Stafford, who went to the Rams. Jesus Christ. Still trying to get over that one. So this week we have new quarterbacks that we will talk about. These quarterbacks can either stay with their team or move to another team. So the first quarterback, I think you guys have the list. First quarterback on the list is Mr. Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is recently injured. He's coming back from a torn. Is it ankle? Okay. For some reason, I thought it was like either ACL or it's a leg or something that was broken. But he's coming off a major injury. So he potentially could be franchise tagged again by the Dallas Cowboys. So I guess I want you guys' opinion. And I think I go Savage, Tuke, Sharky, Trevor, then I go last. Where do you guys see Dak Prescott being? Is that with the Cowboys or is it with another team?
So y'all know I've been on the Dak going somewhere else train for a long time. Like
Jacksonville.
That it was Jacksonville, right? That was about 2018, I think. Whatever it was, I don't know. Things have changed, obviously, because Trevor Lawrence will be a Jacksonville Jaguar. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
So looking at the division that we're in right now, the NFC East. We don't know what's going on with the Eagles quarterback situation. I don't even know. I have no clue. Washington does not have a quarterback at all either. And the Giants, I'm not even talking about Daniel on this podcast until he actually can win some games.
You mean Sonic?
I think that Dallas is going to franchise Dak Prescott because if they can't win the division this year, then you got to let him go because Dallas with their team, their offensive weapons, and hopefully they get better on defense next year. They should be able to win the division easily. They should. So I think they're going to franchise him and say, "Dak, you're coming off a major injury. Prove yourself. If you go to the playoffs this year, win the division, we'll pay you from there." So I think he'll be in Dallas for this year coming up.
Good old Daiquiri, right? Like good times. Good times. So I actually have him going to a place where the owner will have the money to pay for him because he'll be desperate. And I think that place will actually be 3 hours away. I think he'll be going to Houston. I've just got this some weird feeling that the Texans will try to get him, or that that they'll throw the most money on him when he becomes a free agent eventually. So I guess this is between next year and the year after. But I'm gonna throw out just Houston Texans. Like I don't know. I just got a weird feeling. I don't know.
Houston.
So you somewhat stole mine, but you didn't take it to where I was gonna take it.
Take it there for me, then.
Dallas trade for Deshaun Watson. They're gonna franchise that and trade them for each other.
Oh my God! No, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, man. Don't do that to me.
Because I didn't have. I thought about that, but I didn't have them trading Deshaun Watson for that. I wasn't gonna go that far. I was not gonna go that far.
That's where it's going.
This is gonna be one of them things after. They trade this time, like they get that. Maybe next season, what I'm saying? Not the upcoming next, you know what I'm saying? But I mean,
Jerry Jones about to join the sweepstakes. I ain't heard nothing about Dallas. He about to join in. He got something cooking.
Yo, I think we may be there, Shark.
They have something cooking, but I don't think it's Deshaun Watson. I honestly think they're gonna try to make a move for Aaron Rodgers, but that's just me. But as far as Dak Prescott is concerned, I'm gonna stick with Savage here. I think they're gonna franchise tag him.
Thank you, Trevor.
They're gonna franchise tag him. They're gonna allow him to come back and prove himself. And then if Dallas wins the division, looks like they're probably in a prime position to do so with the weapons that they have. Then they'll go back once again to the negotiation table, and I think that's when Dak Prescott will finally get paid. So, Dak Prescott will be back in Dallas on the tag.
I'm going to agree with Trevor and Savage, but to an extent. I think Dallas will franchise tag him because I think if you're Dallas, you in a sense have some type of a leverage. I think if you're Dallas and you're Jerry Jones, you can say, well, as the Cowboys, we technically, I think they missed the playoffs by how many games? 1 or 2?
One.
And that's because they started the season 0-4. And that 0-4 technically wasn't Dak Prescott's fault. It was the defense fault. That was the reason why they essentially went 0-4. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you can say that, but then at the same time, you can say Dak Prescott, like, I mean, I'm here, like, I've never missed a game. I've never missed a practice. I'm worth this amount of money. And if you don't pay me that money, then in my opinion, if I'm Dak Prescott, I don't play at all.
Right.
I'm not playing on a franchise tag again. Because you just saw the major injuries that I just came off of. I'm not signing myself up for another 1-year deal for $35 to $36 million again, and then I could potentially get hurt again. And then at that point, nobody's paying me. So I at least rather say, okay, I'm going to sit this year out. Y'all do it. If y'all not going to give me my long term, if y'all not going to pay me long term, then I'm just going to sit this year out. And then at that point, I can go wherever in the hell I want. I can go to Houston. I can go to wherever I please. And if I'm Dak Prescott, that's exactly what I do. I wouldn't play under the franchise tag again.
That's what Deshaun doing. Deshaun like,
yeah, that's exactly what Deshaun doing.
Yeah, but I think he has such a big heart, and I think because he likes Dallas itself, the city, the team, the community, I think he'll come back. I don't think he'll sit out, but in my opinion, I would sit out from Dak Prescott. I wouldn't play.
I wish we had Sheedy on this one. Give us one, bro.
Yep. So next quarterback we have on this quarterback carousel that's going around. We talked about hot Atlanta. Matt Ryan has not been hot at all. So he is a quarterback that could potentially either come back with this team or go to another team. So same question, same order. What do y'all think that Matt Ryan will be?
If I'm not mistaken, well, let me say this first. I think that Atlanta is going to draft a quarterback this year. They are about to blow it up because they have a lot of old talent, especially on offense. I mean, Gurley's not old, but he is old. Julio is like old, and I didn't even realize he was old. It's still Julio. Let's be real. And then you have Matt Ryan. So I feel like. Well, I say this. Before last week, I said that Matt Stafford was going to New England. I think Matt Ryan's going to New England. New England is going to get somebody's quarterback. They want a veteran. They don't want to bring a rookie to groom. They want to get a veteran. Matt Ryan went to school in Boston College. And I think this is a package deal. They get Matt Ryan and Julio in New England.
Well, I wouldn't be too scared of that because it's still Matt Ryan. I wouldn't be too scared of that.
This was a tough one for me because part of me feels like they're gonna, like you said, Savage draft a quarterback, but I still think Matt Ryan's still gonna be on a roster at the end of the season. But because of what I said about Matt Stafford last season, and him going to join as a coach, they still could use a nice veteran quarterback themselves. With Matt Stafford getting traded, that does leave a spot open. So I guess if I had to choose a spot outside of him staying in Atlanta, I'll pick the coach.
All right, I'm gonna knock out two birds in one stone with no quarterback we got on this list. Matt Ryan had his best season under who? Shanahan. So Jimmy G, Matt Ryan swap 49ers, Jimmy G to the Falcons, and probably
that's very possible. That's very possible.
I'm gonna hop aboard that bandwagon shark. I'm gonna roll with you. I think those who end up swapping for each other. So give me Matt Ryan to the 49ers.
For me, I honestly don't know, but I'll say this, and I'm pretty confident when I say this. I'm not sure where he's going, but I'm pretty sure he'll be a quarterback starting week 1. I'm not a quarterback. I think he'll be a backup week 1. I'll say that. I think Matt Ryan will be a backup somewhere because I think But if you think about it, there's still a lot of quarterbacks that still can be moved. Well, I wouldn't say there's still a lot of quarterbacks that can be moved, but I don't think there's a good quarterback market for him to pick and choose where he wants to go. And wherever he ends up going, I just don't think he'll be starting week 1. And even if that means coming back in Houston, and you already talked about it, Savage, like they could potentially draft a quarterback. I don't think he'll be starting week 1. And it's not to say he's trash. I just don't think that he'll be starting.
That's trash. Or start.
Ryan, man, one of the most overrated. But at the end of the day, even if a team that drafts a quarterback, outside of the top 10, of course, I think even if they draft a quarterback like Matt Ryan is still started in, they'll bring him on. You know what I'm saying? Like later on, bring the Ricky up later on to the season. But Matt Ryan started week 1, definitely.
For the Falcons, yeah.
And the 49ers.
Yeah, in the 49ers if he goes there.
Okay. The next quarterback that we have up is a quarterback that has recently been in the news. And that's because that he could potentially not be with this team. I think GM and his coach have kind of put things out there that said that they might not necessarily want him back. So Mr. Derek Carr is next up on the quarterback carousel. So does he come back to the Las Vegas Raiders or will he be somewhere else?
Man, Derek Carr fell off a cliff that year he got hurt, man, because he was like an MVP candidate, and it's eerily similar to Carson Wentz in terms of like how he just kind of like dipped completely. He actually played good last year, played pretty decent, but I don't think it was like good enough by Gruden standards. And there's a lot of smoke around trading him for Deshaun Watson. I don't know why Houston would want Derek Carr, but I feel like they're going to get Derek Carr. So I got Derek Carr going to Houston, and it probably won't last long, which is kind of funny because his brother played for Houston, David Carr, and was trash.
But they want them. The trade offer that was him 4 first-round picks and Darren Waller for Deshaun Watson. He's making a trade for those.
You got to sweep that deal.
Yeah, they're not doing it for Derek Carr.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that's a good deal.
Yeah, that's like that too. Just a whole Derek Carr quarterback and go to work.
Yeah, I'm saying they'll turn Vegas up, dog. But I actually got him going to Washington. I think Ron Rivera will do good with him. So give me Derek Carr going to Washington.
Bring him, yeah.
John Gruden obviously don't want him, so I get him in New England. New England want a veteran quarterback. Somebody. Derek Carr ain't bad. He
ain't bad.
He Matt Ryan. I mean, they're just saying I don't see no difference between the two. Decent quarterbacks.
Oh man, I really don't know as far as Derek Carr because of course there's a lot of smoke and mirrors of him possibly going to Houston and Deshaun Watson. If the deal that we just talked about is on the table, you definitely have to take that if you're both sides, to be honest. But for some reason, I'm with my brother here. I think I see him in Washington somehow. I don't know how. somehow Washington is going to pull something off to try to get Derek Carr. I'm not sure what.
I'll take it.
That's it.
Gotcha. I think he stays. I don't see too much of a market for Derek Carr because there are quarterbacks before him that could potentially sign somewhere else or stay with their team. And I think quarterback market is going to drop really, really soon. And I think Oakland won't get back what they want to get back for him. So I think he'll be back. But I will say this, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I wouldn't mind Derek Carr. In my opinion, Derek Carr isn't bad. He's just not that good. In my opinion, he's very average. And I don't think he turns over the ball that much.
He don't.
And if you have a defense like the Steelers, you just need somebody that's not going to turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. You just need somebody that's going to make about 10, 15 throws max. And
he's very conservative.
And I'll take that. I just need somebody not to turn over the ball. So if I'm the Steelers and you don't necessarily, if you go a different direction in the first round, and you can say to yourself, okay, I wouldn't mind paying or seeing what I can get for Derek Carr, then I think we try to make that move. But I think at the end of the day, I think he stays.
Okay.
Anything else on Derek Carr? Cool. We have 2 quarterbacks left. Next up is our friend Jimmy Garoppolo. So where is Jimmy G going if he's not staying in San Francisco?
I think he's staying. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think there's a market for him. If there is, it will be New England, but I don't think New England wants him. If they wanted him, they would have had him by now. So I think he's staying in San Fran.
You literally took both of my teams, Savage. Like, if he don't stay, like, he's definitely going. What you doing? That challenge?
I'm trying to show him my camera focus is
I'm sorry.
Focus, man.
But no, I had those 2 teams as well. Like, I could see a reunion back in New England with Belichick, but I definitely do think he stays.
You might as well skip to you, Skyler. Me and Trevor already gave ours.
Right.
Yeah, he'll be in ATL.
Not sure where Jimmy G goes, but if you're the San Francisco 49ers, you find some way to move him. And you find a way to move him because you look within your division and you just say to yourself, well, damn, the Rams just got Matthew Stafford. So that means automatically that, in my opinion, Seahawks still –
you have the worst quarterback in the division.
I'll try not to say that, but you have the worst quarterback in your division. And when you have the worst quarterback in your division, you're not winning your division. It's as simple as that. So you need to find a way to move. If the Rams can come off Jared Goff, you can find a way to come off Jimmy G. So I'm not sure where he goes, but I definitely don't think he'll stay. I think John Lynch and that team will make sure that they find a way to get a better quarterback than him. And then last quarterback we have up is Mr. Jameis Winston. Where is Mr. Jameis going if he's not staying in New Orleans?
So I tweeted December 10th, 2019. I said, Jameis just needs fixing in the right situation. Put him in a dome and away from Florida. Last time that I checked, shout out to Nipsey, he's in a dome and away from Florida in New Orleans. Keep his ass there. Give him at least 1 year in New Orleans. Give him 1 year. See what you can do with it. If not, you can move on from him. Let him do his thing. But I will give him a chance. So I say he stays in New Orleans.
I like that, Savage, but I'm gonna go with the pick I actually had for last summer when we talked about Jameis Winston. I got him going to the Steelers. He's still somebody that threw for 5,000 yards a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago. So if you're trying to I ain't gonna even say rebuild, but if you're trying to stay in contention with a nice big quarterback who was mobile and who could, like I said, get you 4,000 or 5,000 yards in a season, Jameis Winston's right there for y'all, Skyler and Trevor.
I'll say New Orleans. I think that's on a place I could see him starting it right now. Man, because Drew Brees is about to retire, and they're negative 77 in cap room. So, and I don't think anybody else is going to give him money. Like obviously from last offseason, nobody paid him. So I think he's be back in New Orleans, but I think he actually get a shot at starting.
If we hadn't signed Dwayne Haskins and if Art Rooney wasn't so sold on Mason Rudolph, I would have taken you on that to what Jameis with Pittsburgh. But I don't see him going anywhere else. I think he stays in New Orleans. Drew Brees is about to retire. They're going to need a quarterback. Taysom Hill has shown that he is not it. So like Savage said, you give Jameis at least 1 year just to see what he can do. If it's not what you feel that he is, just let him move on, let him do his thing. But I think he sticks around in New Orleans for a bit.
Solid picks all around. I have him going back to New Orleans as well. I think New Orleans did a very good job of protecting him, not only for himself, but for the potential of somebody else wanting to sign him. I think they did a good job of not giving him time on the field, not letting him make throws and stuff where everybody could see it. I think they know what they have in Jameis Winston, but I think they did a pretty good job of making sure he didn't showcase his talent, so therefore somebody could outbid them. So I think that was a pretty smart move about the Saints. I think Jameis Winston will be back with New Orleans, and I think he'll have a pretty good year there, if I'll say so.
All right.
And that is it for our quarterback carousel. Now, we're all here, and that is to discuss the Super Bowl on Sunday. We have Mr. Patrick Mahomes going against Thomas Edwards, Patrick Brady, whatever his name is. Yeah, whatever his name is. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm very excited about this Super Bowl. So tell me who you guys have winning and why.
Same order.
Yes, sir.
Whew, man. First of all, Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. That's amazing. He was in Super Bowl in 2000, and now he's in one in 2021. This is ridiculous. I am not gonna go against the first commandment of the Let's Be Real podcast by picking against Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes in the games that he started, that man only lost like one game in the past like 30-something games. On top of that, y'all know I'm an Eagles fan. Y'all know last year I actually picked San Fran to win because I wasn't sure about Andy Reid. Once Andy Reid solidified that he can do it, I'm good now. Andy Reid is the GOAT off of a bye. He is the GOAT. He's like some ridiculous record off of a bye.
24-5.
That's ridiculous. 24-5. So give me the Chiefs. MVP of Super Bowl is going to be Mecole Hardman.
It's usually somebody random, so
Somebody random. Mecole Hardman. Come on, Toot. Come on.
Why y'all looking like that?
First commandment. Come on.
because you picked against the first commandment twice.
He's not gonna follow it again. Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm.
First
Give
commandment.
me Tampa Bay. give me Tampa Bay, man. Like even though I'm probably breaking the second rule of picking a team that's in the same division with you, right? But I'm gonna pick with Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT as far as quarterbacks go. And you know, I'm going against Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes is like I don't know how they're gonna pull it off, but then again, like Tom Brady has gone through the cheating allegedly against us to the big comeback in Atlanta, you know, against the Falcons, to the Seahawks not running the ball with Marshawn Lynch that I'm winning. 2020 book too, y'all. The vibes are there for Tom Brady to beat the GOAT of this generation, Patrick Mahomes. So give me Tampa Bay. In Tampa Bay, they finna turn up in Florida.
No, they're not. COVID.
There they are. They been COVID. COVID didn't stop. As much as COVID didn't stop headlining, COVID definitely ain't stopped no Florida. Why you think they there? Why you think they there now? Stay woke, my brother.
So like last year, just like Savage, I picked the 49ers because of their D-line. This year, Tampa Bay D-line is very, very similar. And Kansas City is missing their starting tackles. Left tackle is out. Right tackle is out.
That's pretty important, huh?
That is very important.
It's Andy Reid, man.
That's very important. And you know, last year Jimmy G was the quarterback, and Tom Brady ain't Jimmy G. But I ain't going against Pat Mahomes again. I learned my lesson.
There you go.
I'm not. I learned my lesson for last year. I know it's Jimmy G, but I learned my lesson. Nah. Sorry, Tom Brady.
Oh man, I've struggled with who I wanted to pick with the Super Bowl pretty much all week leading up to the show. And to elaborate a little bit on why I probably picked Tampa Bay, let's just rewind this for a minute. So the last time a team was going for a back-to-back Super Bowl, who ended up stopping them? Tom Brady.
Tom Brady and them.
Yeah,
With the Seahawks.
the
Right?
Seahawks was going back-to-back. I'm catching also, and I hate to bring this up too, but I'm also going to look at this like this. I'm also catching heavy Super Bowl 50 vibes with this as well. For those that don't remember Super Bowl 50, that was the Panthers against the Broncos. Panthers were 15-1, one of the best offenses in the league. Denver was one of the best defenses in the league. Of course, Peyton Manning had been terrible. Peyton Manning, I'm sorry, but I'm catching these vibes. Peyton Manning, who had been terrible all playoffs, ends up getting the last Super Bowl and rides off into the sunset. Similar to Tom Brady, who's been terrible in these playoffs, and he's going nowhere. So I'm catching, and then everything that's come out with Kansas City's offensive line. Of course, we talked about how great that defensive line is for Tampa Bay with JPP, Shaq Barrett, Ndamukong Suh, you name it. But I'm not going to go against the first commandment. I've stuck with it. So
Why leave me hanging there, brother? My brother, you are.
I love you, but I've dubbed the first commandment for
First commandment.
Give me the Chiefs. It'll be a close one. And Tyreek Hill is my pick for MVP.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to say mine if I could real quick, Lito. Give me Antonio Brown.
He's questionable.
It's a matter of fact.
If he plays.
Matter of fact,
it's not just Tom Brady, of course, but I'm gonna go Antonio Brown. This is gonna be a good game for him.
Mine was Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell.
To be right.
Get into the
Y'all trolling. Y'all trolling right now.
No, for real though.
I'm not trolling.
For real though, I think Clyde Hill is hilarious.
Okay.
Whoa. I can see that. So for my pick, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. Patrick Mahomes is not losing this game. Let's just be real. But I will say this. If it wasn't for the fact that Kansas City is down, they're down 2 or 3 linemen. If they have at least one of those, I think it's a blowout. And I'm so serious when I say that. Because Patrick Mahomes has basically shown you anytime that his offense touches the field, they're at minimum scoring 3. And most of the time, scoring 7. And so as much as I really give credit to JPP, Vita Vea, Shaq Barrett, Devin White, Levante David, their front 7 is legit. And for Tampa Bay to win, they need to be able to rush forward and get to Patrick Mahomes. That's pretty much the only way they can beat him. But I think just because Patrick Mahomes is elusive, he can move, he can escape the pocket. He's probably, and he has the best damn arm that I've ever seen in the National Football League. He's the reason why they're going to win. Patrick Mahomes, come on now, y'all. It's winning MVP. I can't believe y'all going against Patrick Mahomes and I get MVP. So it's the
that is low key messing up. Y'all go off first.
When Tyreek Hill has 10 catches, 130, and 2 touchdowns, and he's MVP, man,
I'm on my own island yet again, huh?
To my point, let me say this one quick thing, then we can move on. In the past 2 postseason runs for the Chiefs, guess how many times that they've punted?
One time?
Once. They punted
once.
Wow. In 2 years. And so in 2 years.
Job of the year.
2 years. They've punted once. They punted once.
You lying, I don't believe
they do that against what game?
It was some game last year. I can't remember what game it was, but it was definitely like
Texas or something like the Texas game.
I think it was the Texans.
I think it was a Texas game. Yeah.
At the beginning, they fed behind 24.
Yeah.
Wow.
They go for 30.
I don't believe that.
They're gonna play 3 games in this game.
They ain't punt. So when the Titans was 17-7, they ain't punt at any point in that time period.
I think they had.
They ain't turned over.
I think they had missed field goals in there. I think.
Oh, they had missed field. Okay, missed field goals. Yeah, they probably did miss field goal. Okay.
They're gonna punt the ball 3 times this game, y'all. Watch.
That's funny.
Okay.
So whenever when the Chiefs do win, because they will win, I need you to completely abide by the let's be real commandments. The first commandment for sure.
At least the first one.
If Tom Brady loses, I will abide by the first commandment from that point on.
Okay, there we go.
But if he loses, if Pat Mahomes loses, then we abolishing this first commandment. We can rid of it.
Wait. This will literally be the third game that Patrick Mahomes has lost in what, 2 years?
His career, but
It's pretty much his career.
That
first commandment is staying. Whether he wins.
How about this? I give you a
goat too.
If Patrick Mahomes loses, you still owe us the tuna sandwich on camera. How about that?
No, I ain't doing that.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
I already got away. But we just have to add don't bet against Pat Mahomes unless it's Tom Brady. How about that? I think we can do that. We can do that.
Yeah, because Tom Brady to go, man. I take that one.
We'll acknowledge
exactly. Tom Brady to go. Like
we'll make Tom Brady the second commandment. How about that?
Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and he's gonna
we'll make him two. We'll make him the second commandment. First commandment: Thou shalt not pick against Patrick Mahomes.
He needed to be first. He beat him in the Super Bowl.
Second commandment.
Second
commandment. Tom Brady is go.
All right.
Y'all gonna have y'all Bible. I'm gonna have mine. Mine gonna be the New Testament.
I can never.
This is the New Testament.
New Testament.
Y'all read y'all on there. I'm gonna do mine thing.
Always have to get one.
The King Durant version.
Always get one.
The King Durant version.
Have Kelly Oubre is Baby Durant, the second commandment. Hell no, I don't do that damn Bible.
Speaking of Durant, breaking news, man.
Right, come on, breaking
news. Look at us.
He did not start the game tonight because of contact tracing. Then he still ended up coming to play the game, and then they removed him from the game again due to guess what? Contact tracing.
So by rule, right? Because the Grizzlies with JV and Grayson, they had to sit out for like 7, 8, 9, 10 games. So is Kevin Durant going to be out for 7, 8, 9, 10 games?
You're asking questions.
That's okay. He's gonna be an All-Star game.
You're right.
NFL over NBA.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
That's another commandment of let's be real. Do not ask questions you already know the answer to.
Yep, there you go.
There we go. Good one. There we go. Let me write that down. Right there. Somebody right there.
I got it. I'm actually going to look at the Brooklyn Nets schedule.
Thou shalt not ask questions you already know the answer to.
That's crazy, bro. JV get a second COVID. He's sitting down for 10 games. Kevin Durant can play in the game, and man, whatever.
With nappy hair, it need to be
without the hair.
All right.
Welcome back, Wild and Out. Shout out to Nick Cannon.
All right.
Yeah, shout out to Nick Cannon.
Yep. His hair is not ill in the month, by the way. All right. Ill in the month candidates. We got one, Mr. Rodney McGruder. If Tuke, you want to tell the story, should I about Draymond and Klay Thompson and Rodney McGruder?
Those all yours, brother. Who the hell is Rodney McGruder anyway, though?
Yeah, that's a good question. Who is he?
Some guy that's on the Pistons that may or may not be playing with them next season.
According to Klay, right?
He's the Bill Laimbeer of the team now. Like,
hey, I tell you this.
I don't know.
Klay is better at talking stuff than he is at looking up stats for sure.
Right.
Got him.
I agree with that.
Got him on that interview.
we need him and Snoop Dogg on commentary together, just talking trash. That's a
but like, who is Rodney McGruder?
He's a basketball player that plays with Detroit Pistons. That's a bench warmer, apparently. That guy.
He played in the G League, didn't it?
He probably did. I gotta look him up.
I'm gonna look him up.
I got it too.
He was drafted, I think.
I got it.
Was it Miami who drafted him? Something like that? I'm tripping.
Yes, I think it was actually.
Kansas State, Rodney McGruder.
I think it was.
Kansas State.
It was.
Okay,
I wish we could play the Draymond clip. That was hilarious. I'm sorry. That Draymond Green clip was hilarious. I and it's funny every time.
But yeah, Draymond and Klay talk stuff about him. He got to one of the Golden State's other one of their bench warmers as well. And Draymond and Klay had their teammate back. That's basically what happened. Number 2, Dabo Swinney. His comments about Ohio State, it was technically 2020, but they lost to Ohio State on January 1st. So he qualifies for L of the month. Talking about he had Ohio State in his top 10 and went out there and got his ass twaxed in the semifinal battle. Dabo Swinney skated through 2020, my guy. You on this jump this year. But you still might lose because our third L of the month candidate, Buffalo Bills fan. Watch the video. Savage, what do you think you about to do?
I know he ain't gonna.
He's gonna swanton bomb it.
Just watch. Just watch.
Oh!
That's why this episode ridiculousness, right? Huh? I feel the vibe.
Oh!
I'm sorry. That gets me every time.
I
Like,
the whole table.
You literally can just fall and hit the table. You don't even have to jump.
Like his point is to break the table.
Yes, all you have to do is fall. Like it wasn't even.
Why I ain't got no pillow? What are we doing? No cushion? Oh! I'm mad. The crowd had zero reaction. They had zero reaction. They all just stood there and just watched this man break his leg, bro. Like what is? Buffalo, what we doing?
Buffalo, bro. They jumped through fire. They jumped through fire.
Yeah, they jumped through tables.
Real fire.
That's Bills Mafia, bro. They're a little different.
Mafia, y'all need to stop. Like,
Right.
leave it to Bubba Ray and Devon. What we doing? What we doing?
Second wrestling reference of the day. Let's go.
For our audio listeners, there was a video of a Buffalo Bills fan jumping off of a van,
Like a party bus. Party bus.
And
seen that bus
jump on the table. I know he was drunk. I mean, drunk or not, bro. He missed the whole table. I mean,
All he had to do was fall. Like he
Exactly.
did not have to jump.
Your goal was to break the tape. Like, why do it in the first place?
Bro broke his leg. It was happening.
That's their thing, man. That's
First of all, it needs to be talked about how quality. That should be a space table that he's sitting there breaking down. Like, come on now, bro.
It is a quality space table, huh?
It's a space table, bro. You sitting there trying to break it. Come on now. I see it was like a wood table or something.
Y'all want to know what they told him once before he jumped? Break a leg.
Look at that.
And he did literally.
That's where I said Ben Hogan put about D'Anthony Melton. He was like, he's really melt son.
Oh yeah, sorry.
He already had the gym with it.
Knee slapper. It's a knee slapper.
Well, if I could go, my L of the month clearly is this guy that's part of Bills Mafia that jumped off the party bus. You know, supposed to jump on the space table and clearly missed the whole entire table. That's my L of the month. What's up, sir?
I'm with you, man. That's my L of the month too, man. Like this. I'm sorry. It's not. It's
like nobody reacted, y'all. Nobody reacted. Look around him. Nobody reacted.
Yeah.
Everybody just stood there.
He's telling people to move over. I said move over.
Hey, shout out to I don't know if that's some real Jim Kelly jersey.
Hey, pause. Okay, is there anybody black in the crowd? Is there anybody black anywhere?
No, I don't see anybody black.
Is the guy right there on his knee black? Is he black?
No.
Guy on his knees?
No.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, if we gonna break down
when he land, pause it. Yeah, just do a pause. Play pause. Like,
hey, you know the BET fans, and this is why I realized I messed up. This is it.
Bruh. He knows he's gonna miss. He knows he's gonna miss. So look at, he's not even trying to brace himself.
Bruh, I'm mad that y'all didn't send me to do a bootleg breakdown. I'm so mad that I didn't get to do that.
Hey, you still can.
I'm so mad.
You still can, bro.
Bro, what? Oh, Hey, time out. He got on polo boots, bro. What's up?
Now they're not polo boots, them duck heads, bro.
With ankle socks.
With ankle socks on.
Yeah.
Bro, nobody reacted, bro. Everybody just kind of just watched.
Can you go back real quick? Let's go back real quick. You ain't got to rewind the video. I hope you have a clip of him like when he actually fell because he's holding on to the table. He's holding on. Yeah, so he held on to the table. Pissed. He's pissed that he missed the table, so he's trying to hold on to it and look cool.
Oh, hey, he could have popped his shoulder, bro. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god,
he hit nothing on the table, Tuke. Nothing is damaged.
Nothing.
damn, and that concrete was hard as a mug.
Hey, the
Yeah,
table
look at the distance between the party bus and the table. Like, bro, just all he had to do. All he had to do was fall. He didn't even have to jump.
Bro.
Can't none of y'all possibly have chosen anybody else the other month. I mean, ain't no.
Of course not. I mean, I would have went Dabo Swinney, but this one takes the cake. I'm sorry.
Dabo's still sliding through, man. He sliding through.
He slid through though. He slid through.
Yeah, Dad, he was drunk.
Yeah, that's actually that's how the whole thing. That's how that whole thing started. It started with a drunk fan jumping and putting himself through a table, and it went viral, and it just kind of took a mind of its own. Yeah, it's mafia. So that's.
Did he have a mask on?
Probably not.
Did you say COVID while he doing this stupidity?
I just want to know, can we get that table for some spades later on in the year? That's all the reason. That's all the thing I want to know.
All right. So for our honorable mention, Skyler.
We have one honorable mention. This is the MTV schedule for the past couple of weeks. So if we want to give out L's, if we want to give out L's, MTV deserves an L because this is their running schedule of TV shows. Ridiculous. This is for the people like me that do not understand why in the hell Ridiculousness is on in the morning.
Time out. When did they get the rights to Rush Hour? I didn't know they
not Rush Hour. Rush Hour 2 and 3. Not Rush Hour.
Yeah, not just 2 and 3.
Nowhere to be found.
Devil Wears Prada.
Hold on. Shout out to Mean Girls.
Hey, hold on. Time out. Real quick, y'all.
Shout out to Mean Girls, right? We can't disrespect Mean Girls.
How do you go from Bad Boys 2 to Devil Wears Prada to Mean Girls to Rush Hour 2?
Hey, don't disrespect Mean Girls.
What is this? There is no flow in this
first
show.
Of all, where's the first Rush Hour?
That's what I'm saying.
There's no Rush Hour 1.
Bro, what's going on in MTV?
I just don't understand how they run in Ridiculousness all this time, bro. Like it's on in the morning. Like it's on in the morning when I'm feeding. It's on.
Look at Sunday.
It's on after Judge. It's on after Judge Jerry. This joint is always on. So if you want to give out an L, MTV deserves an L because they really thought that Ridiculousness was going to carry this channel in place of Wild 'N Out. Look at this. I was running that done all day.
All day Sunday. Like that's literally
all day
from 6 in the morning all the way to the next day on Sunday.
Imagine waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning and somebody getting Scorpion on Ridiculousness. Like what is going on?
Bro, all day, pretty much all day Saturday. I mean, outside the Fresh Out playlist.
What is Fresh Out playlist?
For the people that did not
early in the morning that they play. So
for the people that did not see what I tweeted to Savage, Rod Bidrick ain't that damn funny. I promise you. I promise you.
What's her name? Chanel West Coast.
Yeah.
AKA tax write off. I got another.
Respect y'all money.
A couple $100,000.
AKA diversity. AKA diversity.
At any point, is MTV playing music?
No. Right there, Fresh Out playlist and Fresh Out Live.
Fresh Out playlist. That's it.
Right, that's ain't 1 hour. That's the Fresh Out Live, 15 minutes.
Hey, hold on, y'all. This all real makes sense though if you think about it. Like if you really think about what I said at the end of the show, commercials. Like think about the ad money they getting every 30 minutes when you playing something that the commercial play more than the show.
No. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you that would make sense. But when you're running ridiculousness all day and people ain't watching it, they ain't getting money for the commercials. Why? Because ain't nobody trying to watch ridiculousness at 6 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock the next day. Ain't nobody trying to do that. They ain't getting no money for no commercials too. You know this. People will buy commercials for a while now before they buy commercials for ridiculousness, and you know
Which is
that.
why they probably back on.
Right.
Shout out
Exactly.
Exactly.
I ain't watched Ridiculous.
My God,
I ain't watched Ridiculous since I was in Skylar's apartment room, and
that's the last time it was funny.
Somebody watch it.
That was the last time it was funny. It was at the Stratum, and the only reason it was funny because it was the only thing that we had at Stratum. You only had like 10 channels.
Yeah, right.
How many times y'all think the L of the month video is gonna be on the show? The L of the month video, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be on the show.
Oh, on Ridiculous.
Yeah. How many times y'all think?
It'll be on there.
How many times y'all think we're gonna see it per week?
Enough.
Enough.
Enough to be tired of it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Get us out of here, Trevor. Tunica Trevor.
All right, you guys. So of course, as we just talked about, it is Super Bowl weekend. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Your best bet at this point, you can really just whoever you feel, because the spread right now is at 3.5. So it's basically a field goal or possibly a little bit more than that. So you can go either way. Because I've seen a lot of people going for Kansas City with that. See a lot of people taking Tampa Bay as the 3-point underdog as well. Most of us pick Kansas City here, so I would definitely take Kansas City there because I do expect them to win, and I do expect them to win by more than 3. So your best bet this week is just take Kansas City and take the spread.
I'm not sure why to be looking at that. Right.
And also for new
Disrespectful.
anybody who don't have FanDuel, if you're a new user, you bet $5 on Super Bowl, you can win $275. I don't know if you see.
Hey, do that right there.
I'm not a new user, so I can't get that big.
I'm a new user, so yeah.
I see my information.
You gotta sign up and hit the link to do it. So yeah.
Matter of fact, if y'all gonna join over, I can share the link with y'all. That way I can get $5 real free bet as well.
There you go.
I got to know.
This file link said.
And also it's $100 free bet on DraftKings as well. Yeah, you can win $250 a day. $100 free bet.
For those that may be wondering, as far as
we do not talk sports on this podcast at all, man.
Yeah,
we do not talk.
Those who may be wondering, as far as the NBA is concerned, for Tunica Trevor, stay tuned because that actually won't be on the show. That'll actually be like a side segment that I threw through the week because NBA
every day
money lines is every day. Of course, they changed, of course, and by the time we record, the games have started. So, and they changed throughout. Normally they come out in the morning, so I can do something like midday or something like that, just to get you something off with that. So, hey.
We can't read that.
You can see it.
I
can see it, but I can't read it.
If you're subscribed to Adam Schefter, then I'm pretty sure you'll see it.
I saw Trey happened.
No, not a trade, but Drew Brees is about to retire. That's all he said.
Okay. Well,
it's official. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Salute to Drew Brees on his retirement. Rest in peace. I watched Saved by the Bell last week, and he died like a couple days after. Rest in peace to Screech. What's his real name?
What? He passed away?
Yeah, he died Monday.
Yeah, he passed. He had stage 4 cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed it. Dang.
Yeah.
I literally just watched Saved by the Bell. But yeah. Anybody else got anything?
No.
IDK will be back next week. So not after Super Bowl, but the next week.
And Titans, let's tighten up. We'll be back next week. I skipped this week. I just have time. I ain't gonna lie.
Be like that, man. That's how I was.
Steel City of Memphis, tentative name for the Steelers podcast. May be coming soon. Still working on. I'm looking at a target start date as possibly the draft. Maybe before then, but stay tuned.
Let's go. Let's be real media. Follow us. LBR. Real. LB real media. Scott, you got something? You got pointing up.
Nope. I just hope Ben Roethlisberger retires. Other than that, I'm good.
I hope that's what happened in the meeting. I hope because he met with Mr. Rooney earlier, but I know.
Yeah, right.
A man can dream. I know, Skylar. He'll be back. I know.
The only other thing I know we finna all do after this is I'm pretty sure we finna watch Ridiculousness. So you might
I'm gonna watch WandaVision because everybody's been talking about it on Twitter, and I need to see this new episode. So,
dead note. Peace.
Hey, you say WandaVision? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Toot. There we go. Al, speaking of WandaVision. Nah, bro. Now he gonna be on the month of February. Matter of fact. Sorry, y'all. What's my guy name? Lil Uzi Vert. I need to find a picture.
Yes.
He thought he was vision, didn't he? He must thought he was vision, bro.
Oh.
Ben gotta go.
Yeah, has to go. I agree.
Mama Savage.
No, I have a comment about this.
My mom hates Ben Roethlisberger, y'all. She hates Big Ben. My mom was going to surgery and was like, "Nah, I'm tired of Big Ben."
She makes some really good meatballs. So tell her if she makes some meatballs, Ben, I promise you, I'll get Ben to retire myself.
I will fly out there ourselves and get him to retire. Like, for real.
All right, we out.
Why does he look like this?
He did though.
To me, when they put this man's face on Vision for Thanos taking the stone.
Somebody already did it. It's a picture.
Yes, they actually they put his face on Vision in that scene from Infinity War when Thanos took the Mind Stone off.
All right, bro.
Okay, that's it, bro.
Peace.
Yeah.